Hey guys, my name is Tensor. Welcome to another Flutter tutorial video. Today we're going to be talking about theming and fonts inside of Flutter. We're going to be looking at the various different ways that we can apply themes, colors, and theme objects to our application, and we're going to be looking at the various different ways that we can add in fonts and things like that. So on the screen here we have the Material Design Color tool. This is pretty useful. This is semi-related to what we're going to be doing in the application, but I just thought I'd show you guys this, and I'm going to link it in the description so that you can take a look at it as well. In here you can select various colors for the primary and secondary, and then you can select text and stuff like that, and then you can see how it will look in your application before you actually build your application. So you can see how the colors affect the different widgets. Each of the colors has actually 3 colors attached to it. You have your normal color and then your light and dark color. And Flutter widgets follow this scheme as well. So yeah, this tool is fairly useful if you want to find a decent color scheme that you want to use inside of a Flutter application before you actually jump in and start coding things. Right here on the screen we have the application from the last tutorial with a few more elements added to it, and the layout has been pushed down to the middle. So you can see here we have the chip from before, and then I've added another chip, and then we've got the 2 input boxes, but I've made sure that they also have labels on them. We've got a slider here, we have a little text card, and then we have a raised button. We still have our fab here at the bottom, and if I click it, it still has that animation from before, and then we have our bottom animation bar with the icon buttons on it. I've also stripped this application of any and all color declarations, and right now all we're using is the basic text data object for our theme. Then you can see that the primary theme data object just gives us this blue color as our primary color. So there's nothing really drastic going on here. So Flutter comes with a few default themes that we can use, and these are important because we can actually extend them as well, and we'll talk about how that works. First, let's look at these default themes. So we can specify that we want themedata.light, and this will not change the current theme. It will in fact give us our current theme. And then we also have a themedata.dark theme, which is yet another default theme. And you can see this makes the primary color black, the background color black, the text becomes white, and then we get this cyan color for our accent color. And they still use blue for certain items like the button, for instance. For the purposes of this tutorial, I've created a colors.dart file, and inside of it I've created a bunch of constant colors. Now each of these colors is based off of a color that I pulled from the Material Design color picker. You should keep in mind that the color codes in here also follow a very specific pattern. So first we have 0x, and then the first 2 letters or numbers in this hexa code are the alpha of the color. Then the next 2 digits are the red value of the color. Then the next 2 are the green value, and the final 2 are the blue value. So in here I've got, I believe, a shade of green, and then I've got sort of a cyan color for the secondary color. And I've made sure to get the regular light and dark colors for both this primary color and the secondary color. Inside of our main app, let's just import this colors file. And now what we can do is create a function which will allow us to basically extend one of our theme data objects. So in here I've created a function called buildThemeData. Our base theme will be our themedata.light object, and then we'll just return the base theme, and we can call this method called copyWidth, and the copyWidth method will allow us to change values, and only the values that we change get changed. The rest of the values inside of the object go back as normal. So this is very useful, especially if we only want to change 1 or 2 different properties. So now inside of our material app we can just replace the themedata.dark that we had up here with our function call, and then this will push our new theme data object into it. So here you can see that we're back at the themedata.light theme, and that's because we haven't actually changed any of the values. Let's first start by adding in our primary colors. So we add in primary color dark, and primary color light. If we look at our application, you can see that the top bar changes into this green color. Then the circular avatars become a darker green color, so this is the primary dark color. And then the border for our text boxes becomes a lighter green color. Other than that, it seems that none of our other widgets have really changed. However, this is fairly nice because it proliferates the theme changes down to the rest of our widgets. We can also add in the accent color. So I'll put in accent color K secondary color. The main thing that has changed is the color of the fab. So you can see that it's actually a lighter sort of blue-green than the slider, which is still blue. Also, if we were able to scroll up and down inside of this view here, then that color would change as well, like the little color of the animation. If we want, we can apply our K secondary dark color to our bottom app bar color property. Now the fab is the lighter cayenne color, and then the bottom bar is this darker cayenne color. So now this is starting to look a little bit better. We can also change the color of our button here by specifying the button color, and I've just put in the K secondary light color just so that we'll use it. So you can see here it's just this light cayenne, and it kind of looks weird because these two have such a nice look to them. So any of the colors that we specify inside of our material app item will proliferate to the rest of our application based on the material design specification for the widgets. If we want to further customize our application, we don't just put in colors here, we also have specific theme objects that we can manipulate as well. And these are for widgets that have maybe multiple colors and properties that we can change. So for instance, if we want to change our slider theme and the colors on the slider, then we need to specify a slider theme data object inside of our theme data object. So rather than just putting in one color, we need to change a bunch of different properties to make this look different. If we want to make things simple on ourselves, we can use the slider theme data from primary colors constructor, and in here we specify the primary color light, and the primary color dark, and then we can specify the value indicator text style, and this just takes in a text style object. Now because our slider has no text on it, we don't really need to put anything specific inside of this text style object. So thus far we've looked at how we can manipulate the theme data from the top of our application. Now let's look at how we can use the data that we've created in the top and then change it for particular widgets. I don't really like how the card looks currently, but we can do some pretty cool things with this card. So inside of our card, for the color property, we can call theme of context copy with, and inside of copy with we can specify the card color property. In this case I'm just going to make it blue, and then after this we need to actually get that card color, so we put dot card color at the end. Now you can see that the background of our card now becomes this blue color. So what we're doing is we're getting our entire theme data object, and then we're just changing the one value, and then we're grabbing that value and putting it into this property. We can just specify the color that we want from the theme. So we say theme of context and then the color name, in this case card color. We didn't fill out the card color, so it will use the default color, which will be just white in this case. But we can use any of the other colors that we have already specified. So say I just want it to be accent color, I can just grab the accent color this way, and now the card has changed to the accent color. And you can literally do this in any widget that has a color property. So inside of the assets folder of our application, I brought in a type of font called Snacker Comic. And to actually make it work inside of our application, you go into the PubSpec YAML, you specify the fonts key, then you specify the family that this font belongs to. So in this case, I'm calling it Snacker Comic. And then you have to specify on a fonts key and then an asset key where the actual font file is. So here we have snackercomic.ttf, which is in our assets font folder. So now say I want to change the font family for our card, I can come down here and inside of the style, I can create a new text style object and add in the font family property Snacker Comic. So I'm able to reference the type of font that we actually created inside of our PubSpec YAML, and now you can see that the card has this funny font on it. The fonts that we bring in here, we can also apply font style and font weight to. So here I'm making it italic, and I'm also giving it a font weight of W900. And of course we can call font sizes as well. So say I want to make this size 20, I can do that. And here you can see that it gets bigger, and it's also italic, and it's got more weight, so it's bolded. Say you want to bring in a specific font, and you want that font to have a specific weight and style based on the actual file of the font itself. So here I've got Furicode, which is the font I'm using inside of this editor, and if you look at the actual font files, we have a bold version, a light version, a medium version, a regular version, and a retina version. And so what I'm doing here is I'm specifying the family name, which is just Furicode. Then I'm saying, okay, well, the regular font is just Furicode regular. Then font weight 900 should be replaced with Furicode bold. Then font weight 400 should be replaced with the medium font. And then for style italic, we're replacing that with Furicode Retina. So even though Retina is not actually a italic font, I don't believe, it should replace any place that has normal Furicode in our application. So say I want to apply Furicode to our entire application, I can come into our base theme here, and in theme data in the font family field, I can just call Furicode. And now inside of our application, you can see here that we have this nice monospaced font. Text inside of Flutter is a little bit more complicated than colors. So we have our theme data object, and then we have a property called text theme, which has its own text theme object. And inside of it, we have various different fields. We have this display 4, 3, 2, and 1, which corresponds with various different styles of normal text. So display 4 is the largest text, with display 1 being the smallest text. And then there are things like the headline, the title, the subhead, body 1 and 2, caption, and then button text. So all of these different fields we can specify if we want to, though you'd be insane to really do that in a real application. And we could put, say, 10 different fonts in here if we really wanted to change each individual element that way. Each one of these items inside of our text theme is a text style object. So here I've pulled out subhead, and I'm specifying that I want to change its text style, and I'm also using the copy with method for this. In here I can say, okay, for all the subheads, I want the font family to be Snacker Comic. So now you can see that for both of our text fields, the actual font has now changed to our Snacker Comic font. And you can also see that when I click inside of one of the text fields, we still have that animation, and it still looks fairly natural even with this really unnatural looking font. If you guys are curious about what a style object is trying to actually take in, you can just click on it and then click Alt F4, and this will open up a nice little window where you can actually see the code that creates this object. So this is for text theme, and I can open it up in a larger window if I just want to look at it. So text theme takes in display 4 through 1 and all this other stuff, and we can see what each of these is, and all of them are text styles, and we can even see the copy with method here. So this is the actual declaration for it. And so yeah, the documentation is fairly useful in that regard. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the box below. And if you disliked this video, then by all means, downvote it as much as you like. Have a good night.